Good morning, YouTube, Facebook. Anybody else watching this video? My name is Deric Lipski, coming to you live from my office. I'm going to be going over tip number 16 today. Tip number 16 is going to be basically going over when we do all this work, we do it in order to get showings. Okay, so as an agent, I'm always out on the road. I'm either with buyers and with sellers, or I'm in the office prospecting or doing paperwork. That's basically what I do. So a lot of times I can't get to the phone when it rings right away. Now, if I'm not talking to somebody, I can pick up the phone, but a lot of times I do, because that's part of my job, is to talk to buyers and sellers and try to put them together. And when that goes on, if I don't take that call, if that's a showing for one of your properties, I'm not being the best agent for you. So I get a service that takes these calls, if I don't answer, and hands them out where they need to go. Number one, if it's a showing for me, prospective buyer calling on an ad, well, they're going to set that up. I'm going to get right back to them. If it's an agent wants to show one of my listings, which is really important, what we want to do, and I say really, I mean really, it is really important that we get those showings done. What that service is going to do is they're going to call you directly if you're one of my sellers, and they're going to go ahead and say, hey, you know, Joe from Remax, or Mike from Coldwell Banker, or Jake from Century 21, or another guy from Keller Williams want to show your property at X time. Is that okay with you? And they'll set that showing up with you directly. I'll get emailed let me know that showing's been going on, but you don't miss that showing. It's so important in this marketplace we don't miss a showing. So buyers do this. Oh, this one for sale and looks nice. Can we get into this one? No? All right. And there's 10 more to go through. So they usually don't come back unless it's something really nice, you know. So the reality is we never want to miss that showing. We always want to work hard. And since only 1 out of 10 homes is being shown or sold, we want to be that one person. We work so hard to get people in there. The last thing we want is for it not to work. So this service sets up the showing for me, so that you guys never miss a showing. Additionally, what it does is it sends you an email confirmation of the call, lets you know who's going in there at what time. So if you forget that call, what time was going on for the day, you can always go on email and look at it, and it'll be right there. And another thing it does is after every showing, it sends a buyer survey out to the buyer's agent, which just says, hey, what'd you think of the price? What'd you think of the condition? What'd you think of the home? Did you think about making an offer on another property? Do you want to make an offer on this property? What are some of your comments and thoughts about this home? So we're going to get that instant feedback because they're going to fill that out. Now, 90% of the agents fill that form out. 10% don't. I call my sellers every Monday, and before I call you, I'll see if there's any of those people that didn't fill it out. I'll call them first and find out what's going on, so that you and I always have a well-oiled machine of information. And that's the most important key, is that we know what's going on, so you know I'm working hard, you know we're getting the feedback, you know what's going on, you're as informed as I am, so we can make informed decisions for you and your family, whatever that may be. Okay, so that's that tip here. So that was pretty much a basic thing. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about View Mail Monday. That's today. We didn't have it last week, so I wanted to make sure I got it in this week. The first one we got is going to be, Slope Skill 11 says, hey, should I keep my home on the market for the holidays? Slope Skill, absolutely you should keep your home on the market for the holidays. There is less people on the market right now. There is less buyers looking. I understand that, but there's less homes to compete against. And when do you think you have a better chance? When there's more homes in the market or less homes in the market? If everybody else is pulling theirs off, keep yours on. There's a better chance of getting it sold. You'll have less people going through, and you can black out any days during the holidays, but you're going to have a better chance of getting it done. And if your home is decorated, it's going to show real nice. But I did a segment on this about 2 weeks ago, 10 tips on why to keep it on. So click here, and I'll connect you to one of them, and then you can kind of go from there and look up the rest of them from there, or I can try to add the playlist. But click here, and I'll bring you to that. Hellgirl83 says, thanks for the shows, Deric. Do you sell in Miami? You know, I don't sell in Miami. I'm based out of Boston, or a little south of Boston. But what I do is I have a network of people that do the same kind of system that I do. So if you're in Miami, Virginia, I don't care where you are in the country, you're watching this video, give me a buzz, email me if you have questions. If you're looking for a broker that does stuff like I do, because I didn't develop the system, this is just my spin on it. But there's a basic framework of the system that I use that a lot of brokers use. So I can be happy to connect to somebody that does this same kind of thing. Tanya Touch says, do you always counter an offer with an offer? You know, I think this is a good question, because I always counter an offer. I don't want the buyer to think later on and get buyer's remorse that they just got the deal they could have. Because if you take the first offer you get without countering a date, a time, a deposit, something, they're going to go, oh, we could have offered less. And then they're going to be upset the whole time and really try to grind you in home inspection. So you want to make them feel like they've won too. Don't just take an offer, even if it's a great price. Change a date. I don't care what it is. Change a deposit amount. Change something so they have to go, all right. Now remember, if you do that, you do change the offer, but the likelihood of them walking at that point is probably slim to none. But don't make a big change. Just change something. Now, if you're already changing price, it's way off, then don't worry about it. But if you got this offer that just came and seemed so incredible, change something because you want to make them feel like they've won too and you've won. So give them a little something, I'll go for that. And so they think it's a deal. If they don't, I'm telling you, you're going to regret it. Last one, Mike sells. I have a listing that's getting no action, and here's the MLS number. Okay, so I pre-looked this listing up, Mike, just so you know. And a couple things I would change on this listing if I were you. Number one, pictures are no good. You got rubbish barrels in the front yard. You got dishes in the sink. The beds aren't made. I mean, really. I mean, I know you probably just went in there and just hammered it out with clicks. But really, this is the kind of market where we have to do everything possible. We have to get the sellers on our side, and we've got to work together. They've got to keep their house up to par, especially for photos, because we're trying to pre-sell with these photos. The write-up, Mike. No offense to the write-up, but you did the same thing everyone else does. Central air, ceramic tile, won't last, must see. Motivated seller. Worst write-up I can ever see. Go to my MLS numbers, you know what they are, and look at some of the write-ups and get some ideas. You can look them up, and you can see the different way I write on something. And you want to evoke emotion. You don't want to just say what the house has. That's telling, not selling. I didn't see it anywhere else besides MLS, so I don't know where you're advertising it. If you're doing the old thing, we just put an ad in the paper, forget about it. You're dead in the water. And the price. I mean, I don't know, Mike. That price looks a little high for me. So what I recommend you to do is go back, sit with your sellers, and figure out how motivated they are. Do they really want to sell? Where are they looking to go to? They've got a price the home to sell. In your town, only 1 out of 15 homes is selling a month. So you, at that price range, you've got to be that person to sell. So you've got to know your competition and figure out where you want to be from there. So it definitely can be fixed. But you know what? If you want tips on writing or the pictures or anything like that, I did like about 2 months ago the steps on how to get homes sold. And it's for everyone, not just for people that sell homes. It's for agents too. It's not a secret. So click here. And I'm going to go ahead and direct you to those videos, and you can kind of look step by step at what I do to get my home sold, how I stage them, and stuff like that. It's really kind of nice to go in there and look at that. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk to you about is I went to the doctor the other day, and he told me to watch on a meeting. And I don't know if you've ever been told this. He wants me to look at the food labels. So I love Pepperidge Farm Milanos, and I don't know if you guys ever ate those. They are like one thing that I eat a lot of. I love them. And I'm looking at the difference of the back, and I'm like, wow, this looks pretty good. You know, it looks like it has good carbs, sugars don't look too bad. And then I looked at the serving size, and I don't know who's developing serving sizes, but holy moly, 2 cookies. Like, I eat 2 bags. Are you kidding me? There's only like 10 in there. 2 cookies? The fat content, I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then I left there, and I'm kind of going food shopping, looking for like his drinks. I drink a lot of juices. So I'm looking at juices, and I tell you, I learned something. I learned something about cranberries. I don't know who the salesman for cranberries is, but man, he is in everything. What is that, apple juice? Cran apple. What is that, grape juice? Cran grape. Is that mango? Cran mango. Pork chops? Cran chops. This guy has got cranberries in everything. And I don't know if they're like super healthy or what they are, but I imagine they got to be good. But I was like, man, this guy is selling. I got to watch some of his videos. I don't know how he's getting into everything. But that's it for today. If you have any questions, you want to see more videos like this, click here. I'll bring you to my page. And you can take a look at them. If you're on YouTube and you've got a page right here, click here, subscribe. I'll give these to you directly. You don't have to have a look from them. They'll come to you every day. And remember, I don't do this for fun. I do it to be number one. I'll talk to you later.